I've gone from eating next to nothing to finally not fearing carbs to viewing food as literal fuel, like they tell you it is. It has taken me a long time to go from one view to the next, and I've realized that one of the largest contributors to it is my relationship with working out, and even more than that, what I do for my workouts. Let me take you back. I gained weight during COVID and post-college, which COVID started right at the end of my senior year of college. I went from this at the beginning of my senior year of college to this that summer and months to follow. When I reached that size, I didn't exercise, I ate junk, whatever I wanted, didn't have any sort of healthy habits or routine, all of that as you could guess. Slowly, I got tired of how I looked and felt. And it actually took me a long time to realize where I actually got with my size, my mentality, my general feelings on the day-to-day, and I wanted to get out of it. But this is when I started restricting a ton. Like I said, I didn't exercise. I didn't have an exercise routine. During college, I was on and off with exercise. However, I walked miles every single day just around campus. And I never knew how much that actually benefited me and kept me in shape until it was taken away. I had an in-person 9-to-5 job post-college, and I remember packing mainly veggies to bring to work for lunch every day. I remember being so hungry that I would race home right when I could clock out for the day just to get home and make dinner because I was so hungry from depriving myself all day and thinking that cucumbers and carrots and whatever I put together for the day was enough. I thought carbs were the absolute enemy. I'm like casually kind of afraid of bread and carbs. And I tried to stick to super low calorie foods just because I thought that was best and that would make me skinny. I'd find these weird concoctions online of like fake muffin recipes or healthy alternatives to things that simply tasted awful. I'd even skip some ingredients if I thought the ingredients were bad, and my final product would be even worse than the one I was imitating online. I was trying to find a way where I could simply enjoy something like a muffin without feeling guilty, or like it would make me gain 5 pounds. And that's the thing. I restricted so much that when I did eat regular foods, I felt huge. I didn't eat that much today, but I just feel so fat. Like my stomach just feels huge. I don't know why. I felt like one handful of chocolate chips would make me gain 5 pounds. I seriously feel so bloated. Another thing I found with restriction is sometimes I would feel more bloated on days of restriction compared to days when I ate proper meals. Something to think about. When your body is in starvation mode, it conserves energy where it can. It doesn't make you lose weight. It weakens the body. No eating means you have no fuel and no energy. Remember that calorie is a unit of energy. Also, undereating puts stress on the body and can make you hold on to weight in certain areas. Again, which didn't make me lose weight like I wanted it to and like I thought it was going to. Undereating causes long and short-term damages. My metabolism was probably so confused. I also felt extreme guilt for certain foods or even having fun when certain foods were involved. I was stuck in the all or nothing mindset. It was basically all greens, no carbs, or all junk and no concern for health whatsoever. I also thought for a minute I should go vegan because I thought it would make me skinny. And that is so dumb. No shade to people who are vegan, but the reasoning on my part? What? No. I just randomly decided to think meat was completely bad for you. Remember, if you don't exercise, it doesn't mean that you're not burning calories. You still need to eat. You cannot sustain 1,000 or less calories a day. It can ruin your metabolism and send you into a spiral. However, I found it was so hard mentally to eat enough while not working out. It felt like, what's the point? What was I fueling? I will feel bad about myself if I don't get a workout in, even though you burn calories all day long, even if you're not doing a workout. Breathing, sleeping, sitting, just existing, you are still burning calories for basic human functions and processes. Fast forward to the end of 2021. I began trying to exercise. It took me a while to figure it out, as it should. In the beginning, I believe my workouts were not very effective, but it's hard when you don't know much about working out. Sometimes it takes that and working through it to learn what does work for you. But I fell in love with the 12-3-30 treadmill routine created by Lauren Giraldo. Today I want to try the 12-3-30 workout from Lauren Giraldo. It's walking at a 12 incline on the treadmill at 3 miles per hour for 30 minutes. But then after the 30 minutes, I do a really long cool down and end up walking for a long time simply because I'd throw a show on during it, and I really just started to enjoy the whole experience. This changed everything for me. As I began to exercise regularly, I slowly began to start understanding more about food. I had a sandwich involving 2 pieces of bread. 2. I didn't exercise to undo the food that I ate. However, I did start getting hungrier from burning more calories, and I knew I needed real good, nutritious foods to recover from all the sweat and all the exercise and movement. And it was more movement and calories burned than I was used to. I started losing weight and my mental health was improving by the day. Exercise releases endorphins, which is great. Helps you feel good and happy. It's insanely good for your mental health. It was a huge turning point for me. I craved my workout because I loved how it made me feel all over, and I started realizing that I was both getting into shape while also letting myself eat more, indulge more, and deserve all types of foods, which I still deserved them before, I just didn't feel like it. Now I felt like it. But I was realizing food was not the enemy. I had other things that you traditionally see as healthy, like smoothies and peanut butter with rice cakes, and that's because I did try to keep healthy things around, but I also had things like pasta and a quesadilla. I ordered out coffee. Carbs give you energy, and you need energy to exercise. Cardio and endurance training specifically require carbs for fuel and muscle recovery. First, proving to myself that I could build a good relationship with exercise, not one that focuses on undoing the calories that I ate, really then affected my view on food. I could even not obsess over exercise. I could skip a day or two, actually allow myself to rest and recover, and I wouldn't gain a bunch of weight back instantly like I previously felt. There was so much more wiggle room. It honestly felt magical. When I was on vacation, I had ice cream 3 times a day. I had pasta, I had tacos, I had a burger. Like, I lived my life and I was so happy. When I got home from vacation, I took a few days off to try to get back in my schedule, didn't even work out, and then after that, all I did was resume back to my regularly scheduled routine, and my body still felt good because of all of that time eating well and eating enough, but also exercising well. I do think my body was kind of prepared. I don't think a few days of indulging on vacation ruined my progress. I was able to bounce back just fine because of my new lifestyle. And the thing is, if you just restrict and try, after you go on vacation or something like that, you're just gonna kind of blow back up because it's not sustainable. And I never thought that I would, 1, enjoy exercise, and 2, be someone who doesn't feel like they gained 10 pounds after not eating well for a day. Having a good routine meant that I was less affected by a few bad choices here and there. Things started to actually balance. It wasn't all perfect. Of course, sometimes, you know, I'd have the extra dessert I didn't really need and then feel a little bit guilty about it, but there's gonna always be slight ups and downs, and that's fine, in my opinion. I also started sleeping way more and way better. Exercise is good for your sleep quality, and adequate sleep helps your hunger hormones, which helps your relationship with food. It all works together. At the timeline earlier, when I was not working out and doing all the restriction and stuff, I was up late every night, I was up early every morning, and I had such bad nighttime anxiety. I literally didn't go to bed till like 2, so you think I'd sleep in? No, I literally still woke up at 7:30. I don't know how much many people realize this, but sleep has a huge factor on not only your overall health, but weight loss and your hunger hormone. If you are trying to get in shape, you have got to allow yourself time to sleep. I started prioritizing sleep and actually feeling like I needed it more because of working out. Like, exercise made me sleep, but in a good way. I didn't overdo it. It just helped me get to bed at night. So I had energy. I was feeling good. I was looking good. I feel good. And eating more and eating better. All the food groups, right? I then wanted to continue and learn more about this stuff. I never knew how good I could actually feel by simply exercising and evolving my relationship with food and my eating habits. But moving on, I did the weight loss thing. I maintained it. Of course, our bodies fluctuate. I'd have periods of time where I was more in shape, a little more out of shape, whatever. But I wanted to evolve my goals. I wanted to learn more, try new things, get stronger, and just build my body more physically because it's something I've never done and never really tried before. The 12 through 30 is amazing. Very low barrier to entry. I would recommend it to anyone, and such a great form of cardio. It literally changed my life. Let's be real. I love that it's cardio with some resistance, but that's the thing. I did want to do more than just cardio. Cardio only may not be the best approach to lose fat. I'm not a scientist, but look further into it if you're curious. So I started learning about weights and tried to implement them into my exercise routine earlier this past summer. I learned about protein and how important it actually is and what it does for you and your body. I actually learned a ton from the First Form app, their socials, their email list. They share so much good information, and that's part of the reason I love the brand so much. They're super educational and not just a complete sellout, you know? Protein helps you build muscle, and along with exercise, of course, it can really kind of like tighten you up. So slowly, I started trying new weight training exercises. I started with the basics and stuff I knew how to do and had the resources for. So cleans, squats, bench presses, etc. And I actually enjoyed this stuff, which I didn't necessarily expect. So from there, I just kept trying to learn more. I would do tons of research on what different exercises people did for lower body and upper body, what works your biceps, your triceps, your quads, your glutes, etc. This stuff does seem so intimidating at first, but you really have to be open to slowly learning and trying. If you don't understand something, don't just quit all. Look it up, watch further, research further, read further. I've been doing a pretty solid weekly workout routine for about a month now, and I really enjoy it. Remember, this is coming from a cardio only, walking only girly for the past while. I'm pushing myself in a totally different way than cardio or than I used to, and I think I like it better. I get more excited to work out. I still do the 12-3-30 weekly though, I will say that. I'm not hating on that at all. But I feel like I'm almost sculpting myself, which that part is completely an aesthetic reason, right? Which is fine, but it feels cool. Weights make you feel strong. They're empowering. It's also a super fun and new way for me to measure progress. Going up in weight, how much you can lift on a certain exercise, is such an accomplishment and a really healthy way to measure your progress. I successfully did 12, all 3 sets, so next week I think I'm gonna try to go up and then go down to 8 reps. Yay. Progress. Of course, as long as you're not going overboard, you're doing the correct technique, all of that. I just feel kind of cool. And I have noticed I burn through food way quicker. I don't track anything, but I feel like I need to eat more. And it's honestly cool because I know my body was working hard and it just makes sense that it needs more to refuel. Whew, I'm literally hungry. That's what I love about strength is I just feel like I burn through food so fast that it actually feels like fuel. Because of this, I've actually started to view food as fuel, like truly, like I never have before. I can't do a quality workout if I'm not fueled properly. I simply don't have it in me. And when I am properly eating, I notice a huge difference in both how I perform in my workouts, how I feel during it, etc. And it makes me want to eat better. Not just because I know it's good for me, but the benefits show up in so many different areas. Part of the reason I feel so good is I've been making sure to eat really well beforehand, but I need that energy right now. Of course I go out, I eat crab rangoons, I do all that stuff, and I never will quit doing that stuff. But it's just really so cool to want to eat good foods and really notice how it affects you, not just in your day-to-day, but how you're performing and just your mental clarity in so many different aspects of your life. Strength training is so good for your metabolism. You burn more calories at rest with more muscle on your body. It also does so much like reduce risk of chronic disease and all of that stuff as well. Also, aside from that, lifting weights is the best form of exercise, and I thought I read somewhere it was the only proven form of exercise, but maybe fact check me on that. But to increase bone density, which is so important as you age. Just kind of a fun fact that I think is cool. And I'm definitely not food obsessed. I'm not someone who tracks every single macro, every single calorie, and you know, like not the stereotypical like gym bro who has rice and chicken and broccoli to like optimize whatever, but it's just that I have a different view that I've never really had before. And I do prioritize certain foods. You know, I start out with protein coffee every single morning, and I've learned so much about macronutrients and the importance of all of them and how much you really do need protein, carbs, fats, all of it. And I definitely do not feel like I'm at an unhealthy place with my relationship with food and exercise, and I do know how that feels to be at a bad place with all of that. I need to learn how to like not constantly think about food and exercise though. I just feel so different now than I ever have before, and I've really gone through such an evolution. I had to share it all. My best piece of advice is to always do what you love, you enjoy, and makes you feel the best. Just because this is my evolution does not mean it needs to be or should be yours. However, I do always encourage you to try different things, because the more you try, the more you learn. Trial and error is best and gets you so far. Also, keep in mind this journey that I've been talking about has been going on for over 3 years. This is my experience and how I've learned and evolved, and I would love to know yours. Wherever you are, I am rooting for you. I love you. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you have not, and I'll see you in my next one.